So, are we ready to take the measurement? Yes. So it's a good idea to have a layout which is having nothing but the smart. So you can take a layout and say, okay, this is going to be the smart layout. So when I need smart, I just do that. When I need my PA system, get to the PA system, I get that. When I get to smart, I get to smart. So it's easy. So shall I go to the PA now and 9 and open the pink noise to the PA? It is important to see that the impulse response is correct, so the delay is correct. If I want to find the delay straight from Globcon, I don't have to go to Smart. I just click Find Delay, and it is recalculating the delay and applying that automatically. Okay. This doesn't look good as it looks here, but it's just because of the XY, but it's exactly the same measurement, so don't worry. This is not that bad. It's exactly like this one. It's like having the distance calculated in meters or miles. Well, it's going to take the same time to cover the same distance. It's just a different number, but it's the same distance, right? Okay, let me tell you something before proceeding. When you are taking a measurement in Smart or from Smart in Globcon, you can decide which is the smoothing of the measurement. So if you are getting a phase smooth, a magnitude smooth in octave, it looks much better and much more readable. But then it means that the measurement is much more not precise, not sharp. It's already the result of smoothing. So here's we have two options. Are you manually trying to EQ your system? So first you have to understand what kind of filter you need. Therefore, you select among the availables the filters. Therefore, you need to help yourself to read what kind of filter is. If you don't have any smoothing, there's a lot of things that are up and down. So what filter should I use? I have no idea. So in that case, you want to help yourself reading the first filter, just having a larger smoothing so you can read more or less the shape and the frequency and the dimension and the Q of the filter that you are just about to use. But here, we want to get a complete picture of the entire transfer function automatically detected by a measurement system and ask the prodigy, which is a clever guy, as the name says, to calculate the entire transfer function inverted in order to have the flat system. So the more accurate is the measurement, the more accurate will be the filter calculated. Following me? Here's the point. Is a measurement completely not smoothed, so none, a good measurement? Let's see. So I have the measurement done, and I can stop the transfer function here and plot what I just measured. I have the impulse response, I have the phase, I have the coherence, I recorded everything. This is just a matter of what you want to display, but when you capture, you have all the information. Phase is important, in this case not really, but coherence is extremely important. When coherence is extremely important? When you want to ask Prodigy to calculate the filter. Do you want me to calculate the filter keeping in mind that the measurement is not the same, but it depends on the coherence? So I want to have a coherence-weighted correction or a straight correction. This is important when you have one measurement, But it's even much more important when you don't want to rely on one measurement system or one measurement position. It's not a good idea to take a decision when the PA system is measured 3 meters away. You have 100 meters of coverage. So you cannot rely on just one measurement. So you want to take that measurement, then you want to get to the front of house position, then you want to get to the farthest position that you have to cover with the PA system. Then you calculate the average, or you ask Lopcon to calculate the average, and on that average, you decide to correct your field, your PA system. The PA is the same, but it sounds different, despite the speaker manufacturer is telling you that it's absolutely even, it's equal or something. You know that it's not true. And it's physics. It's not their fault, right? So, yesterday, I've been at Scotiabank Arena with Courtney, and he wanted me to tune his monitoring system. He has a 2 NS10 Yamaha, old-fashioned but sounding very well, linear reference monitor, which are linear, maybe. So I took the measurement there, and I could take one just measurement in the same position where the ears of Courtney would be all the time using those reference monitor. And I took the maximum resolution because if you take the maximum resolution, you correct that, you also get rid of all the reflections that he had in that room. You could do that because it's absolutely one position that you're listening to that speaker. So if there's a reflection here, I want to have that corrected if I can. And the speaker sounded, wow. They didn't even sound the same at all. So a blind test, which one you want? This one or the other one? Oh, the other one, this one is broken, so I can have the other one. Sounded completely different, absolutely linear. The voice in here, the guitar there, the snare drum there, and he never suspected that their speaker they were not good. But if you are putting two speakers into an environment with a lot of reflection, not acoustically treated, what do you expect? So in that case, the custom filter could be used with the maximum resolution because you want to get rid of the reflection if possible. But when you are measuring a PA system in a large environment, in a reverberated arena or something like that, there's no way that you can get rid of the reflection because you can get rid of the reflection there. But what about there, there, and there, and there? So it's not a good idea to have such a nervous correction because it will never be a sharp correction. But when you take the measurement for the calculation of the filter, you have one chance to get all the information. It's like when you take the picture with your Canon super duper camera, 10 million euro camera. Then you export a JPEG and you post it on Facebook. JPEG super compressed. It's 200K, 200 kilobytes. If you get the raw file of that, you have an incredible amount of megabytes, even gigabyte, in the modern cameras, because you have a much more information. You will always have the possibility to create a JPEG out of that, but it's not going to be possible to create the raw out of the JPEG. This is the same thing. So when you take the measurement, take it with no smoothing, because the implementation of the custom filter of Prodigy and Globcon is so sharp that lets you to apply the smooth afterwards. So in real time, you can appreciate which is the correction with no smoothing, with some smoothing, with the maximum smoothing. But you still have the possibility to decide later on. If you take the measurement with octave smoothing, not more than that resolution. Is that clear? Should I repeat that? Okay, so I got that correction or behavior of the transfer function captured in my Globcon. I could switch off smart now. I don't need that any longer, despite the fact that I want to check if it is really working or not. So now I can go back to my PA system, get to my PA array right, open the FIR filter, get to the custom filter, click on the custom filter, which is the layer, the complete layer is bypassed at the moment, import from traces, and get that measurement imported. You want to have it coherence weighted or not? Yes, I want to have it coherence weighted. I confirm, and I'm importing that in bypass mode. This is the result of the filter that Prodigy will apply in order to smooth your system. Then you see that you are boosting a lot of frequency around about 20 Hz, 31 Hz, 62 Hz. It's not going to make it. Look at the PA. But it's normal. The microphone was lacking that kind of frequencies, but it's clear that the speaker is not able to produce those frequencies. So it's a waste of time that you try to push the way. You are just, having your drivers hotter, consuming a lot of energy for something that which is impossible. It will be reproduced. So it would be a stupid thing try to have this correction. So you get to the second page of the custom filter, you activate the limit and you say, forget about the correction up to the crossover point. All right? There's no way that you can get that, so don't do it. Same here. Do you really think that those are real measurement or something like that? Well, let's try. The important thing is that it's not destructive. This is just a real-time decision that you can take when you calculate the filter. And you can listen to that when you do that. And we will be listening to that. So no problem. Probably, let's give it a try. Maybe we don't like that. And then we can say, okay, forget about that. 16K, who cares? Right? Yesterday, that was making all the difference in that room. But maybe not in the big PA system. Right? Let's see. What I want to show you, in any case, is the result of the scientific thing. So if the custom filter is doing its job, the next measurement done with SMART should show me a much flatter response. Then, if that will sound better or not, it's a different story. But in terms of measurement, it should be much flatter, right? So let's start from the custom bypass. Let's open the pink noise. And since we want to do that, we can do this. We open the Prodigy MP. There's a simple selected channel page that we can open, which can be expanded to the maximum. So the selected channel is like the selected channel in the console. Whatever channel you select, it's completely controlled by here. Whatever channel you select is completely controlled by here. So if I select channel, the main PA right, I have everything I need to control the PA right. The delay, the IIR filter, the FIR filter. So if I go to the custom filter, I see the custom filter here. If I go to the smart trace, and this is the second one probably, it's on, and the measurement, there you go. I have in real time the measurement coming from smart on the same graphical environment. Now, I can unmute my PA system, my ping to PA. It's doing the job. Now, if I want to have that measurement looking better, I can simply get back to the smart and say, now, please, in the magnitude, show me the octave smoothed to better understand what I am doing. It's not impacting the calculation of the filters, but I can read better if the system is linear or not. So this is not changing the filter calculation, but just the way that I'm measuring the system now. So I go to PA system. I opening the selected channel, which I better create as a layout with the selected channel, so I can get there whenever I want. Okay, this is the measurement of smart without the custom filter. Scary, eh? So then, do I like the sound of this pink noise? No. I agree with you. The problem is that this is what the science tells you is a flat system. Now, the point is, the custom filter is doing its job. The fact that I want to play in the sound and with the flat system is a different thing. Nobody's playing with a flat system. Please?
The custom filter is going to be set so that it can vary over time. Like if you've got the same setup, measurement automatically adjust?
Automatically, no, but you can have the tool to automatically adjust. If you don't ask the custom filter to do recalculation, it's not going to recalculate anything. It's not a good idea to keep a real-time measurement and ask the system to automatic time, because the measurement can be weird. So I think that it's not safe. But I can kind of answer your question like this. So if I like the idea to start from a flat system, right, like this. Right, huh? Then, once I know that the system is flat, I don't even have to look at the plot of the custom filter. For me, it's the new flat. So whenever I'm not in the custom, do not plot the custom filter. For me, it's my new flat system. Then, I balance the tone of the PA depending on my taste. So I get my fucking thick filter, and then it's jazz, rock and roll. But it's still flat. It's linear. The point is, when you have different pieces, although they are from the same brand, like in this case, all the speakers are from Renko Signs, different models, different combination of woofers and drivers and stuff like that. They might have more or less the same fingerprint in terms of sound. They would never be the same because of the passive crossover, because of the other things. So the only way to have all of them sounding the same is start from the flat situation from everything, and then you can tune the system. But if you don't start from the flat situation. And yesterday, when we did that in this room, ask Vino, the sound, the overall sound of this little, speaker system completely changed, because we could start from, and you were walking around, no matter whether it was a 15, 12, 12, or whatever, they were sounding the same, because we flatted them first, and then we globally EQ'd depending upon our taste. Another important thing is that when you are applying such a powerful filter, meaning that powerful in any sense, you can change significantly the difference levels between the original input signal and the output signal. So you can change the magnitude in two different ways. If you are pushing a lot of things up, you are inflating the level. If you are doing a lot of olds, then you are losing power. The worst case scenario when you are tuning a PA system is to have different gain structure among different scenarios because of the EQ. So you think that you are feeding the PA with the same level, but because of the EQ, maybe the heavy EQ, it's not at all the same power. So we thought about a nice tool to get rid of that problem. So when you open the thing here, you play the pink noise. You see this little number, blue, 1.6? This is the difference between the RMS power in the input and the RMS power in the output. So output less input. So we are increasing by 2 dB the level because of the EQ. Wow, I never thought about that. But you did it. 2 dB, it's a lot. Right? So you don't want to have 2 dB more, you just want to have the system EQ. So you keep your finger, the one you want, on Alt option, and you click on the blue, and the overall filter is applied to a level which is giving you back, after a little bit of moving average, the system back to 0 dB. So you are now absolutely sure that you EQ'd the system, maybe heavily, but you didn't change the gain structure of your PA system. Okay? So if I'm plotting my EQ again here, you see that the overall has been decreased by 2 different things. And you can manually play with that if you want. So you keep the same shape, but you are putting the the filter action towards the entire spectrum. If you want to do it automatically, just let the filter calculate and then alt click on the blue value and you get the right thing. You better do that with the pink noise because you have to feed all the frequencies. You cannot just use it with a random musical material because then you never know which is the real RMS. So do that with the pink noise.
Does that volume delta reset work with all of your plugins, whether it's dynamics or anything else?
Now, this is what is getting in and out from the EQ. So the EQ is giving you a transparent gain structure if you do that. If you don't do that, depending upon your EQ, you are changing that gain structure. Sorry? One each of the 32 FIR, so 32. For each of the FIR plugins, you have a custom filter.